Hey, it's Alofa Lava. This is Leotawa Dr. John Peterson. You are watching TE2 Edge Sports Cards, and I am with TE2 Consulting. I am the CEO and president of TE2, also the founder of TE2 Consulting. I hope everybody's doing well out there. We've got some really foggy, high humidity weather out here in Richfield, Minneapolis here today. Hope everybody had a good 4th of July. I know that I did. We spent some time back in Wisconsin with my dad and my brother and sister's families. It was really nice, very wonderful. Did kind of a garage party, which was fun, grilled out. It rained a little bit, but still was able to get out and shoot some baskets with my son and my brother-in-law. Threw the football around. Overall, it was just a really, really nice and fun day. I got to see my nephews and niece. I got to see my nieces. I have 3 nieces on that side of the family, and so it was a lot of fun. So I hope you had a good time too. I hope you were safe, had a blessed 4th of July, and were able to safely enjoy some fireworks. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and leave me a comment. Don't get tons of views on these videos, but that's okay. I'm going to keep doing it because I enjoy it, and I do know there are a few folks out there that like to watch. A couple of things I'd like to talk about today. It's been really interesting to see the developments on YouTube, on the different channels and the content creators. You know, there seems to be this kind of debate about positivity in the hobby and negativity in the hobby. And yeah, I don't know. I thought I'd talk a little bit about that. You know, it's tough. You know, some people are in the hobby because they truly enjoy sports. They've either been sports fans for a while, or they're new sports fans, and they really just love the game. You know, love the football, love the basketball, the hockey, the baseball, the soccer, the Formula One, all that sort of thing. And you can tell who those folks are because when they talk on their channel, they are knowledgeable about the game. They're knowledgeable about how players either performed in the past, or they're knowledgeable about how players are performing in the present. They talk about different things that happen during the season. They talk about player performance in a particular game or series or weekend, the playoffs, that sort of thing. They correctly pronounce the players' names. That's one thing that I've noticed, is that there are some very popular, highly followed YouTube content creators out there who don't even know how to properly pronounce the names of the players, especially players from the past. You know, they don't know how to pronounce Nap LaJoy correctly, right? They say something totally different. So I would be I'd be remiss if I didn't issue a word of caution as to how much stock you put into people like that. It doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means that they don't really understand the sports behind the hobby. And you know, I run a business, of course, and you know, when you run a business, what you want to do is you want to provide a product, service, or good that benefits people and benefits the consumer, and hopefully makes you a profit and makes you some money. So I mean, I totally get that aspect of it. But from a collector's perspective, which I originally was a collector, and I still consider myself a collector, yeah, I'm not here to flip just to flip. That's what I'm saying. I'm here because I love the way these cards look. I love the fact that when I look at this card, for example, this 1986 Patrick Ewing Fleer sticker. I was a huge Ewing fan back in the day. I loved the Georgetown Hoyas. I know that they won a national championship in 1984. I know that he was the #1 draft pick in the 1985 draft. I know he never won a never won an NBA Finals championship, but he is one of the greatest all-time setters in the history of the game, along with Kareem. You know, so I think, and Griffey Jr., the kid, right, came up in 88, 89. Older dad was Ken Griffey Sr., played for the Cincinnati Reds and a number of different teams. I mean, I can even tell you Griffey hit 600, I think it was 660 home runs. So all I'm saying is that you don't have to be super knowledgeable about all things relating to sports and sports cards, but you have to have some general awareness, I think, of the hobby beyond just flipping cards. Flipping cards and selling a card for, $50 and then turning around and having that person sell it for $75 and then they sell it to the next person for $100. I mean, that's great if you can do it, if you can eat, but also be aware that like the core of the hobby is built upon people who actually really enjoy the sports aspect of it. In addition to the business side of it, in addition to the money-making side of it. So I just wanted to say that. And if you don't know how to correctly pronounce the names of the players, maybe you should ask. And if you hear somebody correctly pronouncing the name of a player, maybe you could correct them, because if you don't know how to correctly pronounce the names of these great all-time players, I probably won't be taking any advice that you provide regarding the hobby. So anyway, take that with a grain of salt. I'm going to sip of coffee here. I don't want to come across as negative or as a know-it-all or anything like that, but it's important to speak your truth. So I thought I'd show you a couple cards that I've got up on eBay, some auction stuff going on right now. I have sold, if you can see back there, I sold a number of cards in the last 10 days, 7 days. Most of it is vintage. The vintage seems to be moving, particularly the raw vintage, and mostly the raw vintage baseball. Haven't sold much football. I don't have a lot of raw vintage football slabbed right now. I've got some certainly that is coming back from PSA and CSG. But yeah, I think the baseball vintage has been selling pretty well. Here are some cards that are currently up for sale on eBay. A 55 Tops Aaron. It's a second-year card. I think this is one of the prettier cards, I'm going to use that word pretty, of Aaron's. In fact, I would say this is my first or second favorite of his cards. My first maybe being the 56 Tops. 54 Tops is a nice card, but I prefer this card over that. So I would say this might even be my number one favorite Hank Aaron card. I'd love to get this in a 7. So that's for sale. I've got a number of bids and views on that. Here's the 56 Tops. I kind of like this one a little better because it's got the natural background of the field. It's got the green grass, and it's got him sliding at home plate with the umpire taking his mask off. So that's currently being auctioned. That's his 3rd-year card. This is a fun card. 1957 Batting Foes. 57, the Braves played against the Yankees in the World Series. And it was Mantle versus Aaron. It was the Yankees pitching staff versus the Braves pitching staff, which was Warren Spahn and Johnny Sane and Lou Burdett. So yeah, what a great card. Not in great condition, but definitely something someone will want. 1958 Sport Magazine, or Sporting News Magazine. 1958 All-Star, Aaron. That's actually pretty sharp. A little off center left to right, but still a nice card. Of course, this one's getting quite a bit of attention on eBay for the auction, which I think it's a 10-day auction. I think we're only 8 or 9 days in. 58 Mantle, the Mick, greatest switch hitter of all time. Now, some people who collect Mickey Mantle cards who just got into the hobby, do they even know that Mickey Mantle was a switch hitter? So you ask somebody, was Mickey Mantle a right-handed batter or a left-handed batter? And they say right-handed. Well, they're both wrong because he was a switch hitter. The Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays, This is a 1959 The Sporting News All-Star. So you can see that the company, Sport Magazine, changed to Sporting News in 58 to 59. You know, I think it's actually Mays that hit 660 home runs. I think Griffey actually surpassed Mays and hit maybe, I can't remember, in the 660s or in the 670s. Griffey is, I think. Could be wrong. I'd have to check it out. But I know the Say Hey Kid hit 660 home runs. I think he had 3,200, 3,300 hits. Mi hermano de Puerto Rico, Roberto Clemente. Yeah, my all-time favorite. Not my all-time favorite card, but a great card nonetheless. A lot of the 58 Topps cards are like headshots. I'm not a huge fan of the 58 Topps set for that reason. This is not one of those. You can see him in his batting stance with his full uniform. I love it when I can see them in a stance and I can see a good portion of their uniform. One of the reasons why I don't like the 58 Topps set as much, though, is that the background is just color. So it's not a an image of the stadium or them in action or really anything like that. So, but still a good card nonetheless. The old 64 Tops Mantle. It's a classic card. Here he is batting righty. 61 Bob Gibson Topps. This would be his third-year card. I love this card. 55 Topps Eddie Matthews. So this would be, Matthews' rookie card was 52. So 53, 54, 55. So this is fourth-year card. I don't know. There's something about this picture that I just really, really like. That's a great card. So that's up for auction. A lot of these cards you can't even find. This is a 57 most valuable player. That's a pretty sweet card. Look at the look on Aaron's face. Awesome. And then this is a fun one. The old Yogi Bear. Now, people don't probably remember, but Yogi Bear won 3 MVPs. I think he won 3 consecutive MVPs. I could be wrong. You'll have to double check the stats on that, but I want to say he and Campanella with the Dodgers each won 3 MVPs, and I want to say Bears were back to back to back. Yeah, I want to say he won the MVP in 53, 54, 55, somewhere in that range. Yeah, all-time great catcher. And the resale value on his cards are pretty high. So those are a few raw cards that I've got auctioned. And I think I'm going to stop the video here. You know, I've got a tendency to go a little bit long with the videos, and I don't know, it's not really necessary. Oh, I'll show you one more card. This currently is for sale on My Slabs. It's a 1954 Jackie Robinson in a VG3 CSG slab. Yeah, I traded for that a while back. It's my first Jackie Robinson card. And then I'll show you one other one. 1955 Topps Sandy Koufax. I picked this up in a trade back in 1991 outside of Old Detroit Stadium. I traded a 55 Topps K-Line for this card. Oh, I think a Barry Sanders 89 score rookie card, 50, 60 bucks. So I think I did okay on that one. It's a Grail card. It's only in a 3. But I'll take a 3 in this any day. Plus the card has a lot of value. If you're interested in checking me out on My Slabs, you can go to My Slabs and just search TE2. And that'll show you the 200 or so listings I have up there. Mostly CSG graded slabs. I prefer the CSG slabs. And I think over time their value will just increase. But I got some PSA stuff on there too. Some vintage, some modern football, modern basketball, vintage basketball, stuff like that. So, all right, I hope y'all are safe out there. Have a blessed day. Peace out and one love.